Welcome back to Chasing the Farm Life. Today I'm going to show you how to blanch some morel mushrooms. I have a boiling pot of water right now. I'm going to put these in there for 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes. Once the timer goes off, I'm going to transfer them to this ice bath, and then we'll dry them and then freeze them so we can enjoy these later on in the year. We'll just kind of dump those in right now. And I'm going to set a timer. We'll set it to about 3 minutes. So what I'm doing here is boiling off the enzymes or something like that. So morel mushrooms are you can only find them for about a month out of the year. So with as many as we found, they're only good in the refrigerator for about 5 to 7 days if you properly store them. So I want to freeze these because my in-laws will be coming down in a couple months and they've never had morel mushrooms, so hoping they'll be able to enjoy them as much as we do. So I'll kind of walk you through the process of other ways you can save your mushrooms. You can always dehydrate them too. Dehydrating takes about 14 hours or so, and it smells really bad. So I'm not gonna show you that way unless you really want to see that. Then you can comment down below and maybe I'll consider it next year. So got about a minute and a half left here. Got some good bubbles going on. I'm just gonna slide it off. It'll still continue to boil. And then I'll transfer it over to this ice bath. Some people say you can put a drop of lemon in there. That's supposed to help preserve the color of the mushrooms. I forgot to do that, so we're not doing that today.
Would you like me to get some lemon?
It's fine. When you dehydrate these, to get them back to life, you kind of just soak them for about 10 minutes. And then obviously the freezer, you can cut them in half to store them in the freezer. I chose not to just because they're pretty fragile and I don't want to risk weakening them. All right, got a few seconds left here. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer them over. I feel like they got a pretty good boil. So I've got some ice water underneath this colander here. Put that colander there just for the video. I don't normally do it like this. And we have more in the fridge.
What would happen if we didn't blanch them? We don't know, I guess. We just didn't know we're supposed to blanch them. I'll do a follow-up with some information about why you have to blanch.
I'm pretty sure you blanch them to preserve the flavor, but
We'll get back to you on that.
I'm no guru. I think they would taste almost rotten if you didn't.
We're pretty used to doing this. We do this with a lot of our produce that we farm here. Things that we're going to freeze and keep for ourselves and not sell, we blanch every year. So.
And then you put them in the ice bath to stop the cooking process, to cool them off so they don't continue to cook. And we had already cleaned and cut the dirty ends off, so accidentally left some ice cubes in there. Oh well. All right, so we'll just kind of lay them out. And then once I get a second here, I'm gonna clean or dry them off And then we'll lay them on a sheet pan in the freezer to flash freeze them so they don't clump all together.
That is the worst, if you forget that step and then you go to take something out and it's all frozen in one big chunk and you don't want to take the entirety of the package out. We've made that mistake many, many, many times.
Alright, so I'm going to kind of just give each of them a little hug with my hand with this paper towel to absorb as much liquid as possible. It's time consuming, but
Based on the size or on the shape of these, it's hard to get all the moisture out. Normally we wouldn't be freezing these, but we were, like she said, saving some for our in-laws, and we just had so many this year we couldn't eat them all.
and we kind of plan to go out next weekend and hopefully get some more. We'll go in the same spot we did.
Yes, here generally you can find morels from like the first week of April through like the first or second week of May. The locations kind of change as the season changes. The places that warm up the soonest, like the south sides of hills, they're going to have them the quickest, or the south sides of a timber. And then as the season progresses, you can move towards the north side of those timbers. So after she gets this all done, we'll get these in the freezer. Once they're rock hard, we'll take them out and we'll put them in either a 1 gallon bag, which is the easiest way, or we can also package them with a vacuum sealer. Either one works. Vacuum sealer is probably better, but for this amount of food, it might not be worth it.
And we're only gonna store them for a couple months. But they're good for up to, I think, 14 months frozen. So I just have them laying on a sheet pan in our freezer, trying not to have any of them touch so they don't get stuck. And then in a couple hours, we'll come and remove them and bag them up.
All right, slight change of plans, everybody. Nicole was helping me with a lean-to I'm building on the side of the house, which now that I think about it, I should probably do a video on that too. But, and she fell off the ladder and she twisted her ankle. So she will not be finishing this video, but luckily there's not much left, so I can go ahead and finish it for you. So here we have our morels. As you can see, they're frozen like a rock. We're gonna just go ahead and bag them and then probably double bag them. And we would normally probably vacuum seal these, but since we're just doing this small batch for when my parents come, we don't need to be overly cautious. I'll get out the air that we can. And voila, there you have it. Not the most exciting video, but I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope you learned something if you are not familiar with morels or how to process them or freeze them. Like Nicole said, we'll probably do a dehydrating video at some point if enough people ask for it. As always, like and subscribe if you enjoy content like this, and have a great day. This has been Chasing the Farm Life.